RPOs, basic escalations. So, like I said, with like anything, you want to have a plan. You want a plan to stop the run. You want to have a plan to get pressure. You want to have a plan for when you're in third down. You want to have a plan for when you're handling RPOs. You need a separate how you handle the run game and how you handle RPOs is a different beast. So you want to have a plan to handle RPOs, and the first thing you want to have is stuff that you run anyway that is good against RPOs. So playing man or playing cover one is a solid option. Again, if you have great man coverage players, you're going to see less RPOs, right? You're probably, if you're playing lots of cover one, if your team is built so that you can play cover one, you're going to see less RPOs. The challenge is you're going to see a lot of other things that make playing man hard, but RPOs is not necessarily going to be one of them. That doesn't mean you won't get them. It doesn't mean you won't get the kind of double move shot concepts off them for sure. But if you're able to play some cover one or mix in some cover one on rundowns, that's a great way to take linebackers out of conflict. If the linebacker is man to man on the running back, he's no longer in conflict playing the hook to curl. So him playing his run fit doesn't hurt him in that situation. So playing man or cover one, simple, already a part of most defenses. You can sit the end and force them to give the football. And then in that case, take some of the stress off your DBs if you're getting zone read. And you can use stunts to kind of affect the run game in the box. We'll get to one of those in a sec. And you can challenge, the run concept you see by being gap sound and not having any of those players be in conflict at all, right? They have their pass responsibility is the running back, right? They're blitzing if you're running a 5-man pressure. You're able to use that to your advantage, but you're forcing to play a substantial amount of man on first down or on second downs when you think they're going to run the football. And ultimately, in most situations, if the offense you're playing is coming out running effective RPOs, they're going to have plays off those RPOs, play action shot concepts, double moves that make playing man hard. You may be in a matchup where, hey, they have one really, really good receiver, and we don't want to be in man on him consistently. That takes some of this off the table, but that is an option. Second option is play man to the side of the back. So play split field coverage. Again, Coach V hit the nail on the head. If the back's in pistol, that's hard. You could do some game planning on who they read out of formations. So, for example, if you know out of 41, they always RPO the Sam or they always RPO the boundary half, you could cheat and try and play man to that side. Again, this one's better if they're going to give you the early tell with the back. The other thing is with, the back, if the back does step up, even if it's late, you can make, your call as that back steps up. You would just call your coverage and you say we're going to man the side of the back, takes the linebacker out of conflict. That lets you play zone away from the side of the back. So let's say they don't run an RPO. Now you're in man to the side of the back, but at least you're not in man across the whole field. Secondarily, you're looking at the challenges there. Again, you're playing a man on first down, at least on half the field. What if their best player is to the side of the back on the RPO side, right? You may not be able to cover them in man-to-man, and double moves and shot plays become an issue. So this is one really basic concept that you can add to your cover one. The box play stuff, this is something Western used to run a lot of in handling, whether it was zone read or just true zone. That was a huge challenge for a lot of teams, but away spike cover one tilt. So away just means you're going to set the 3-tech away from the back. So if you're a base 40 team, you're going to set the 3-tech away from the running back. So you'll see here, the 3-tech is away from the back, and spike tells him he's going to spike that A gap. Okay. So if you're getting traditional zone, right, the center and guard are stepping with the zone here. The zone's going towards the field. Okay. And as they step that way, now the 3-tech is spiking, splitting that double, hopefully, at least making it really hard to get a solid double. And you're going to wrap the mic around. Okay, so in this presentation, anybody who's green is not in conflict at all, right? So the mic here is not in conflict on either side of the field. He can go right to his run fit, in this case, wrapping the B. Okay, and then you can play this with exchange on the backside. The next picture will show that. But this frees up the will now. To play the B gap. This is versus zone lock. So here you're going to force the throw, right? The will can play through his run responsibility. If they make a mistake and hand it off, it should be a tackle for a loss. You can have that guy jump and try and bat the ball down. I've seen that be effective. But he's got, the running back in man-to-man, so he's not in conflict. And the tilt means we're going to take the cover one and tilt it towards the side of the back. So again, prevalent on them showing the back to one side. Like you could do this post snap where the back steps to, the free safety is going to attack that side of the field. So if this back was in the pistol and on the snap of the ball step this way, the free safety could then rob that side of the field. You're just giving the man defender to the side of the back, especially again if it's a half field RPO. You're giving the man defender to the side of the back a little more help if that becomes a double move. So you could try and bracket a route with a free safety. So if you got that glance or slant route here, okay, you could try and bracket it with the free safety, or you could play over top, let this guy play hard underneath man. It almost becomes like two man to that side. And again, you could play exchange if you want. So the will, if you did get a down block, like we'll show in a sec, the quick could chase and the will could loop and play the quarterback. It's going to let you, it's going to let you confuse the quarterback a bit. So the quarterback is being told, hey, we're going to read the will and we're going to throw in behind him, right? So his eyes aren't usually on the free safety. Now there's some really good teams, and one of them might be listening right now that'll do a good job of making you pay for that. But again, this is a basic, concept. If you're not seeing full field RPOs, this is something you can really try and employ. Got a question there in the chat about being in pistol. What would you do if the team ran pistol rather than the RB to the side? Oh yeah. So it's a huge challenge. So in the next couple slides, I'll talk a little bit about if you're getting a team that's playing all pistol, how you can handle it. If I was playing a team that was all pistol, you got to take your chances a little bit more with trying to disrupt the timing. I think it's a little harder to time out with the mesh. So maybe doing some more pressure stuff. But even in this, the free safety could read the path of the back and try and rob to that side. Although that does make it a lot harder. As OCs frantically right now are scribbling down RPOs out of pistol. But the challenge is the backside is man to man, right? So if it isn't a RPO concept, you're getting man to man on the other side of the field. Again, this is more of like a first down call or a really heavy run situation call. The other thing you could do is have the free safety. If there's no action to the back, so if the quarterback doesn't reach to the back, it could just play out like true cover one. That would be another way to play that. The spike inside, I think, really helps with the zone. And if you're worried about the throw, you want to force the give. This is a great way, as we go to the next slide here, to either force the give or you could play the exchange like is shown here. So with this one tech, the tackle is going to be stepping down hard. Great chance to run the exchange and play the will. Yeah, great. Another great point there, Coach V. Thanks for the question, Chaz, in the chat. It's a great question. It is tough. The other thing you'll notice sometimes, and I'd be interested, to hear more people who have, because obviously none of us have played in a year, right? So how much, full field RPO people get might change. But being able to really, like game plan and say, hey, when they're in 23, they're RPOing this guy, right? Or when we line up like this is who they'll RPO. And then using that to your advantage. That's something we're going to touch on a little bit later as well. The exchange is great if you want to force the quarterback to pull it. Again, it plays out when you get the zone read variations, not the zone lock variations. But it's a great way. Again, you want to change the variables. Whenever you're in an RPO situation, the quarterback's making a read, you want to make it as hard for them as possible to make the right decision, right? So you want to have different variations throughout the game. Being able to play exchange will help on that. But that's, something probably a lot of you guys have done for a long time. Nothing revolutionary.